Welcome back to the Gun Show, my friends. Today we're talking Muratec machinery and we're talking IMTS. Yeah, you don't want me to sing, but I'm going to do it anyway from time to time. All right, for my friends at Muratec/Muratec Machinery, we will be visiting them on Tuesday from 12:30 to 2:30. Yes, the MTDCNC team will be there. The booth number is 338844. But if you show up, what are you going to see? Why invest your time? That's why we're here today. I got my buddy Rob and Ken. Yeah, Ken says, are you sure you want me on a podcast? Yes, Ken, I want you on a podcast. Thank you so much for being here. Rob, thank you for being here as well. I know you got some exciting technology. I got to sneak in, actually, to some of these conversations because they actually let us in with cameras, Fernanda. For the first time, I forgot to mention, Fernanda is with me as well, one of my favorite women in the world. And we got to sneak in for the first time ever with cameras. That was fun, right? Welcome back to the Gun Show, my friends. This is the VIP edition.
A ton of cameras to see amazing technology with you guys. Thank you so much for giving us the honor to be the first one to enter with the cameras.
Very welcome. It was our honor. Yeah,
and then on top of that, we got to speak with maybe not all, but a lot of distributors, a lot of those teammates and partners to build that corporate video as well.
And from all over the world, like not only in the US, but Canada, Mexico, a lot of parts.
You even did a Spanish interview.
Yep.
All right, enough of us being excited about being there. Let's talk about the technology. Who should I start with, Rob or Ken? Who wants to open up on what we're going to see at IMTS?
I can open up.
Awesome.
We are an automation company and have been since really our inception. So you're going to see automation, from very basic, doing single machine load, just in and out, to very complex, using robots to actually load into the in-feed and out-feed systems, gauging, washing, and so forth. So everything in between, but it is definitely an automation show. We'll have 10 machines in the booth, showing our smallest machine, setting beside our largest machine, which if you've seen in person a couple weeks ago is a very dramatic thing to see. So it's this automation front end.
She's a monster. Great. Yeah.
Machine.
I want to talk about the speed of the gantries in just a minute as well, but let's slide over to Rob. Rob, I got to sit in on your meeting. How much of that envelope do you want to open to share about your creativity, about what's going to be on your booth? Because I find it incredibly exciting, and I think it was a brilliant idea. Do we want to talk about some of that?
Of course we want to talk
about it. Awesome. I love it.
Yeah, so, we think of automation as just the machine itself, right? You get parts in, parts out, but someone still has to put the parts in, the blanks, and someone still has to pull the parts out. So we want to develop something, and not really develop, but show our engineering abilities, what we can do kind of throughout the whole manufacturing process. We want to just dump a bin of parts in front of it, walk away. So we want to let this machine run for 8 hours, truly unattended, lights out manufacturing, whatever we want to call it today. So that's what we're going to be showing on several models throughout the IMTS show. So they'll be running in the background. We're just going to be sitting back, monitoring and talking to customers and asking them questions. They're asking us questions and just really showing off the engineering abilities of our organization. So.
If it's okay with you, you actually have a giveaway for those who want to learn more about these machines that has a great history to it as well. And that's not typically about the technology itself, but can we just highlight that super quick? Because I'm going to try and get one.
I'm surprised you haven't gotten one already.
Not yet. I tried to get the original. They wouldn't let me have that one.
Yeah, you can't have the original. So yeah, we're going to have a giveaway. It's IMTS. Everybody gives away something. So, but it's a 4-piece. I don't want to really say what it is per se, but it's a 4-piece demo.
It's a 4-piece surprise
made from on 2 different machines. But we're going to have a robot package this stuff into a box, and that's going to be a handout. Now, not everyone's going to get one, but you got to watch the demo in order to be eligible to receive one.
Watch the demo, ask the right questions. You just might be lucky enough. Fernanda, I'm going to open this up to you in just a minute, so think of a couple of good questions that you want. Ken, I'm going to go to gantry loading. Something I heard when I was sitting in your meetings while we were doing the interviews recently, which is why I'm so excited about IMTS as well, is automation is in your DNA. It's always been there. It's been built off of that. And it's about fine-tuning what exists and making it better and faster and allowing people to do more within a smaller footprint so that they can have more space within their facility. And I saw a gantry loader that was zipping around that, use Google if you want to out there, folks, but discussionably the fastest gantry loader of that style in the world. So automation is key. It's a buzzword. It's in your DNA. What does automation mean to what you guys do? And when people come to your booth, how they can understand better what gantry loading might bring to the table, even though you guys do cobots and robot cells, but understanding what gantry might bring and then mentioning the other aspects of automation so they can fully understand, I think is a good route to go about understanding gantry loading and automation.
I did research for my next opportunity because I wanted to write a book. And I came across this statistic that 70% of small business owners want to fund their retirement through the sale of their business, when in fact only 20% of them actually had a saleable business. And it broke my heart anticipating the fact that baby boomers, there was a light at the end of the tunnel, and in fact it was a train. And so I really wanted to do something about that. So I wrote a book called Scaling the Exit. The purpose of the book was to articulate a strategy for small to medium-sized business owners to increase the value of their business to the extent that they could actually sell it and fund their retirement. And that was really the first iteration of what became EBITDA Growth Systems and our brand promise, which is to double the valuation of small, medium-sized businesses, specifically in terms of an exit, but double their valuation, or we give them their money back.
Sure. So yes, as we would say, automation is in our DNA. We developed our first gantry loaded lathe in 1980. So this is not anything new to us that now you're seeing others kind of come along.
You beat us all to it.
We've been doing this a long time. But even our other divisions are also very automated. You got a firsthand look at even some of our textile equipment.
That was cool.
So from the DNA side, we have a central R&D group that is there developing automation for any of the divisions. Their second look then is to see, can that automation be used at another process? So specifically to the very fast gantry, that idea was developed through another one of the divisions and then spawned into gantry load, and it's a carbon fiber gantry rail that is moving extremely fast. Most of the time, it can maybe even scare a customer.
Scared me a little bit
because it can move very fast. But you know, for us, the gantry is really used to getting parts in and out of the machine, just loading the chucks. We're a parallel load, meaning that we're typically chuckers. We're not loading into tailstocks. So the in and out time of that is extremely important for us. And we're also one of the few companies, if need be, we can put two gantries in. So one loading from the left side or right side and the opposite, or loading out to a gauge while we're still loading parts in and out. But we normally don't use the robot to try to load the work holding. We are using the gantry for that. We'll use robots then to either gauge a part, wash a part, load the in feed, out feed, that kind of thing. But normally for us, it's just way faster to go ahead and have that gantry load through. And again, with the technology that our company brings, we can do so very fast. And through the connection of the lines as well, machine to machine, we can really get a lot of throughput. And it's not so specific to someone making 100,000 parts. We can do the same with somebody making 30 parts.
I love when you're a mind reader. I was literally going to say, let's break a stereotype real quick, which is job shop applications on something that feels like we've just described over and over again to be productivity only of tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of parts. Rob, we'll slide back over to you. You have job shop machines. This speed that we're talking about, the accuracy, the precision, the footprint, all of this goes into a job shop application for high mix, low volume as well, doesn't it?
It does, and that's the other focus, right? You know, we always think of automation as like Ford, right? You know, you're running the same part for 7 years and you're making millions of them, but that's not all automation is these days. I mean, it's getting tougher and tougher to find talent, find qualified help. So, you know, these machines they're a big investment. So you got to be able to run these machines unattended, even if it's just 2 hours a day. it needs to run unattended. So whether it's a 30-piece run or a 3,000-piece run or a 30 million-piece run, these machines are kind of designed to be quick changeover, easy setup. There's commonality between the machines, the controls, the gantries. So, once the process is in place, it's defined, changeover it's pretty quick. So automation is not as expensive as it used to be, and it's not as labor intense, and it's becoming mainstream. It's becoming easier.
Yeah.
So to speak, so.
Fernanda, I don't want to steal all your time. You're not just a pretty
You're
face on here.
You're stealing my questions because I had like automation is in your DNA. I was about to do the same question you did, and when you started, I was like, you just take away my question.
But I'm sorry. Do you have another one?
I just wanna, more than a question, I would like you to explain to the audience, because for me this was awesome, and I'm pretty sure that you're going to see these videos pretty soon. Of your machines you can put them together like Legos, like one next to another, next to another, next to another. And watching that, for me, that was very new, and it was amazing to see how the gantry was from the first machine taking the pieces to the other one, and how much time we're saving with this kind of automation and putting together all these machines. So you can personalize your equipments for the people necessities. So can you talk about a little bit about this, like on all the personalization that you can do with your machines?
Sure. So part of the evolution with Murata and the automation, historically, when you look at automation in other brands, you buy something with 6 or 8 spindles, but that's all it will ever be. And so it makes 1 or 2 parts, and if you want to redeploy that machine, now it becomes very difficult. And our system and what's been designed is for us to put these machines end to end, as you say, connect like a Lego. And so we have high volume, or if it's an op 10, 20, 30, 40, whatever that may be, and we're moving them through, we're depreciating all this time. But the beauty of this is in a year or 6 months, if that job now is gone, I can divide these machines out and individually redeploy them. And so now I'd have 3 two-spindle lathes, just 2 axes, 3 axes to go make parts. So that's just a continuation of the automation systems that Murata continues to push out.
Fernanda, you brought up something I think I would like to learn more about as well, and we did while we were there, which was cool, but I want you guys to expand on it also, which is your customization, your ability to work with clients who have specific needs, because you do have a root machine, and you have, what did you tell me, 50 in stock at all times, something like that, 100 in stock? I mean, it's a good amount, and then when somebody calls you and says, I have a problem, I need your help, you guys are able to adapt their issues to what you currently have and then send them something that fixes that problem. Can we talk about that customization you guys offer?
Sure. I mean, we have a fairly large engineering department, which is mechanical. And we have a controls engineering department, which handles the NC side and the automation side, and of course the applications side as well. So it's kind of one-stop shopping. So we sell, not just the machine itself, but we sell the engineer's solution. So, these days, a lot of the machine tool builders, they also provide these services, but they go on the outside. A lot of that is subbed out. They have to get contractors in. We're all internal. It's Murata. So everything is made in Charlotte. It's designed per the customer specification, and so it's one-stop shopping. So
I like that. And Fernanda, I'm going to steal another one. Is that okay? You have a question, don't you?
No, that's
Did I steal
fine.
it from you? Are you sure? It's two. I have so many questions. But one is, you don't currently really have what people would consider a showroom. You have a facility that does turnkey. Mm-hmm. The other thing that goes back to what we were talking about with automation, Rob, is one thing I don't think was mentioned that is so very important to understand, other than what you had described about the speed and the automation itself, is when we do gantry loading, everyone's fighting for real estate. The more we can be vertically integrated and save that space in front of a machine, be able to open the doors when we need to put more machines in our shop, to do more within our expensive facilities, that's where that gantry loading comes into play as well. So I've kind of said and questioned at the same time, but please expand on those two pieces. Turnkey center, you guys are brilliant at that. It's not really a showroom. And just the automation of how expensive real estate is these days.
Hey everybody, Mike Franz here with Shop Floor Coffee. For 20 years, we've been seeing the same issues going on with workforce development and the shortage in workers across the industry. We wanted a way to give back. Shop floor coffee is our way to do that. Proceeds from every bag or every type of coffee you buy from us go back to the community. We work with amazing programs and initiatives across the country where we're giving back. We want to help support the community, come together with us, join us in this effort to help support the community. Please, thank you very much.
I'll jump on the latter. Real estate is very expensive, and on some of the larger corporations we're selling to, they actually apply a dollar value to the square footage of the machine. So yes, everyone is quoting, and you have your line items of what this costs, that cost, but at the very end of the tabulation, we're putting a square footage and they're applying a cost back to it. So as the larger these machines get, it can kind of skew where you're hoping to be and not to be. So in our world, because we are compact, we are vertical, we're saving a lot of space there, and that eventually allows the end user to get more machines without having to do add-ons and so forth. So that is becoming more and more part of the process we're doing when we're quoting end users. Absolutely.
Yeah, it makes sense. I've seen machines wall to wall to wall wishing they had more space. I've even seen people cut bar feed holes in the wall. They're sitting outside of the building. It's crazy what people are doing to fight for space. Vertically integrated makes the most sense. So Rob, we'll slide over to you to talk a little bit more about the turnkey center itself. And then Fernanda, whatever question you have last as we start to wrap this thing up, we'll leave that last one for you.
Yeah, so we are heavy turnkey, more so than most machine tool builders. But our organization in Charlotte, that's what it's focused on. I mean, we don't have a showroom that's all glamour where we have nice machines and a beautiful polished floor. It's a working environment, and our customers, our end users, that's what they work in day to day. So we mirrored that. We do a lot of R&D. We want to do a lot more R&D. We want to do a lot of more customer training, distributor training up there. And just really enhance the automation, So adding a robot to a gantry machine was taboo a couple of years ago, but I think it's needed today. So
I'm a fan of taboo.
Yeah, I like to go against the grain sometimes. But yeah, it's.
I'm going a little bit back to IMTS as we visited you last week. We get to see all the machines that you already have separated, ready to the show. How did you select these machines? Like, what was the highlight of these machines, and why are you taking them to IMTS to show them to all the people?
We certainly looked at what are more common models, right? So, I mean, to be fair there, we kind of looked at that. But also of what we could take basic machines and basic automation and upgrade it now, as you've seen, adding robots, adding cobots and wash stations. So then also what would be more impactful to the end user. Our point really is not so much just to go make a big splash. You'll see that at a lot of other booths, people, flaring and fireworks. We're really focused on, hey, when somebody walks up to this, that yes, this is something that could potentially make sense for them and use, not just as a cool idea. And that was more the focus, I would say, than just a quote show.
As we wrap this up, Ken, you and I have traveled quite a bit, been to a lot of shows. Were you ever around during the time where someone actually had a live tiger in a cage on their booth?
Yes.
And then that got kicked out and they brought on women painted naked?
Yes.
So we're not doing that, are we?
No. I think you witnessed last week as well that we're a very conservative company, so it probably wouldn't be quite acceptable.
No tigers, no lions.
No tigers, no latex paint. I remember very well.
I think that the only crazy idea I heard was that you were planning to put a flag in the gantry, so the flag was like
that would have been cool. Are you maybe planning that? Are we gonna put flags up top?
Potentially, or a bobblehead doll.
A bobblehead. That bobblehead doll's gonna lose its head.
With that carbon fiber.
Yeah, it's the speed of your gantries. That head is gone. Yeah. All right. So thank you both for being here, Fernando. Very well done, as always. If you're looking forward to IMTS, just like I am, swing by the Murata booth. It is 338844. That is the booth number, and MTD will be there on Tuesday from 12:30 to 2:30. We look forward to seeing you there. But Stop by anytime during the week. Monday through Saturday. Bring your family, bring your friends, bring your cousins, your aunts, your uncles. I don't care. Bring them all. Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Rob. We appreciate your time. I love when I do that, by the way. Thank you so much, and we'll see you at IMTS.
See you there.